Welcome back. It is your boy Draft Raw giving you more content for the How to Scout series. Next video that should be coming out should be the ranking, or not just ranking, but I'm gonna be talking about the top cornerback prospects in the 2020 NFL Draft. But this How to Scout series is about safety. So let's just get right into it. Safeties. The first thing when you're scouting safeties, the first thing you want to do is distinguish if it's a free safety or a strong safety. That's one of the number one things. Are you looking at a free safety or strong safety? Prototypically, you see most free safeties playing a lot of deep coverages. Then you see a lot of strong safeties playing in the box most of the time. So that's how you kind of distinguish. Now, some players end up kind of doing both. You see sometimes where you may have a team that plays a lot of cover two. So the player that will be your strong safety will be playing like deep halves. But then at other times, even if the team normally runs a cover two, there's going to be plays where the guy's going to come down the box to help for run support and different stuff like that. It's usually the safety that can kind of double as I guess you could say, a more versatile, faster linebacker type of player. In recent years, strong safeties have kind of changed. We've seen basically linebackers of today used to be strong safeties. When you see these guys that are 230 pounds, they used to be the strong safeties. Now we're seeing strong safeties that are around like 215, 220, maybe 210, maybe even less than that. But prototypically, that's how you distinguish a free safety and strong safety. So that's the first thing. Secondly, after you're still watching that, now that you distinguish what they are, then you have to kind of put the certain traits that I use of scouting these type of players, of what should they be doing and what type of role should they be playing, or what are their attributes that they show within each play. So let's start off with the strong safety. If I'm looking at a strong safety, the first thing I want to do is that if they're in the box, how good are they at run support? That's the biggest thing. Tackling is one of the biggest things for a strong safety. Now, if you're a free safety, I'm not too keen on you. If as a free safety, you have to be a great tackler, but it does work out well if you are a solid tackler. But being a tackler or a big hitter for a strong safety is something huge, because you got to be able to use your speed and versatility. Well, not just versatility, but speed to be able to get around, tight ends or offensive linemen to make the tackle in the backfield. Second thing for a strong safety is most of the time it's man-to-man coverage when it comes to going against running backs and tight ends. Sometimes you do see free safeties playing man-to-man coverage versus those type of players. Sometimes even strong safeties will kind of playing that play man coverage versus slot receivers. And then most of the time you probably will see those guys kind of playing in the mid zone, covering the areas that they need to cover, like what a linebacker would do. But the biggest thing is the man-to-man coverages versus the running backs or the big tight ends. It's to have that, for a strong safety, to be able to do that is something huge. Most strong safeties are not able to do it. And most strong safeties do kind of have the height. You're starting to see a lot of strong safeties nowadays, especially the guys you will pick in the top rounds, like a Minka, or a Derwin James, and just Jamal Adams. These guys are 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", and they're able to play those type of coverages in the man-to-man coverages versus tight ends. But that's one of the biggest versatility things, is to be able to go up against these tight ends and to use someone that's going to be faster than a linebacker, and it's going to be it's going to be more stronger than a corner. So you get the best of both worlds. That's a huge thing. Also, when I'm looking at a strong safety, it's not just the run support. It's not just going to be the man-to-man coverage. It's just the straight up instincts, having the instincts, and then also being a playmaker. Those are going to be two more. Having instincts is going to be huge for a strong safety. How does instinct show? When the ball's hand off, do they automatically go, or do you kind of see a hesitation? Do they automatically read the play before the play is happening? While they're in zone, do they kind of feel the guys? Because sometimes a receiver may be running right behind you, and do you see them all of a sudden break off towards the receiver or backing up, breaking over to the side to knock down a pass or try to make a play on the ball. Those are the type of instinctual stuff that, when you're looking at strong safety, you need to see, because they, like I said, they have to be in that box in the middle where the linebackers are playing as well. And then playmaking ability is huge. Being able to get the interceptions or the forced fumbles, that's going to be huge. I mean, that's huge for any type of player on the defense, period. But for a strong safety, it's even bigger because of where we're seeing offenses go through right now. You're going to see a lot of the short passing games, and you're going to see a lot of the situations where it's going to be, passes in the middle of the field. Sideline passes and deep passes down the sideline or down the middle of the field are chances that are not taken as often as they probably should be, and it has somewhat to do with the new version of the free safeties that are out there. Obviously, guys are going to still take their chance and take their shots, but we're seeing a lot more often that it's not going to be taken a lot more. You're starting to see a lot more teams try to be methodical going down the field instead of being explosive. There's only certain teams that have been bringing the explosiveness more often. You got guys like the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and stuff like that. Even the Baltimore Ravens, who like to take shots down the field. That's going to be a big thing for them as well. But overall, when you see these type of games, when you see these type of plays and what these guys are doing, you're going to see a lot of short passing and passes down the middle of the field. So that's going to be something where the strong safety has to come through. So those are the 4 things that I mainly look at for strong safety. Now, when we jump over to free safety, I'm looking at range. That's my biggest thing. I'm looking at range. You got to be able to cover. You got to have range. You got to be able to go from the middle of the field all the way to the left side or the right side of the field. You have to do that. That is one of the biggest things for free safety. Not to say I compare free safeties to Ed Reed, but Ed Reed was so good at what he did. Ed Reed was so big at what he did, and he's a Hall of Famer. He was the biggest playmaker. He was probably the best free safety that we ever seen in this game. He kind of changed the game for free safeties and what they did. Ed Reed, later on in his career, wasn't a great tackler because he had a nagging neck injury. So he used his brain to be able to say, you know what, I'm not even going to be, I don't have to be a great tackler. I'm just a free safety. I just got to make sure that stuff doesn't get behind me. And him doing that, and on the defense that the Ravens did play, he was able to be a free range safety where he was able to kind of bait guys and be able to kind of have that instincts and read the plays and see, what is he looking at, and then boom, and he attacks and he gets the interception. Or you try to go deep on him, and then all of a sudden you think you're going to go past him, and then he turns his hips, and then all of a sudden it's an interception, and you look stupid as a quarterback throwing down the field to Ed Reed. But that's the biggest thing for free safety, is being able to have the range. You don't have to be the biggest playmaker in terms of, it's an added bonus and plus into getting the interceptions, but you don't have to be a great intercepting type of guy. Just make sure you knock down that pass. That's the biggest thing, is make sure they don't get behind you, make sure that they don't catch that pass. And that's what a good free safety can do for any team, is to have that range. Another thing will be the cover skills in terms of man-to-man coverage. That's a huge thing for free safeties. Tackling can be something also. Like I said, I'm not huge on the tackling for free safeties. I'm more concerned about their range and their cover skills than anything. And then obviously, playmaking ability can be there, the traits that you could look at. But, it's neither here or there. But versatility could also be a situation that you could look at, is do you see them kind of doing more than one thing? Are they blitzing? Do they take on tight ends when they're stopping the run? Do you see them come down trying to stop the run? Those are the type of stuff that as a scout, you should kind of look at into seeing, okay, what makes this free safety really, really good? What is going to separate him from everything else? And then, the instincts is one thing, but being able to read the plays just like a strong safety, being able to kind of, just kind of see it. And if you can see a player bait a quarterback into making certain throws, that's going to be huge for him as well. So those are the main things for both the safety positions of what to look for in a free safety or strong safety. Those are the biggest things. So if you're sitting down, you're watching this video, and you're trying to learn, how do I scout players? The biggest thing is, you already watch football, so you kind of see what needs to be done. You kind of see what's going on, what's happening. Reading what's going on the internet, how, you know, seeing certain different things, what the type of things that teams or other guys that are scouts kind of look at, and then just trying to put those two together and make your own version of how to scout. But this is how I scout, and I think that it's an effective way. It's an effective way to scout. And I don't want to toot my horn, but I've been right on safeties for a long time now. I've been, you know, Jamal Adams, that's one thing. You know, he was a top safety. I was right on Derwin James. I was right on Minka. Derwin, when I say I was right on Derwin James, in terms of the way the Chargers use him, I was right. Minka Fitzpatrick, I was right. All of these, a bunch of safeties I was right on. Even Kevin Byard, who's a third-round pick from Middle Tennessee State, I was right on. And I think I'm going to continually be right, because this is how I scout. So if you want to know how to scout safeties, I just told you. I thank everybody for watching. Please share this video. Please comment. Please like. And please subscribe if it's your first time looking at me. Once again, this is Draft Raw. I thank everybody for watching. Goodbye.